Welcome to Korea and happy birthday Samyuk University to your 115th anniversary. That's truly a success story for education, vision and mission. My name is Achim Karduck. I'm a professor for information systems, and in addition, as a volunteer activity, together with some other responsible people, we are operating Aktion Living Space. And Aktion Living Space is responsible for early childhood education. We call it education with all senses. Numerous groups at the age from 2 to 3, so play groups in the forest, in the nature, and groups, 20 children each group, at the age 3 to 6. Here we are in the middle of the park of the city of Denzlingen. It's a smaller community, 14,000 inhabitants. And Denzlingen is located 10 kilometers away from Freiburg. Freiburg is a big university city, 200,000 inhabitants. It's the capital of the so-called Black Forest. The Black Forest is a beautiful region here in the southwest corner of Germany, bordering to France. France is away 20 kilometers, and Switzerland, the city of Basel, 60 kilometers away. Aktion Living Space started 32 years ago, and we could celebrate our 30th anniversary 2 years ago with Professor Ernst Ulrich von Weizsäcker. He used to be, for example, the co-president of the Club of Rome. Limits of growth, limits of quantitative growth. So this is founded on having a feeling for resources. And education with all senses. Children who play in the forest, children who experience nature in the park or at the beach, they get an awareness to our experience, a good awareness for resources, whether it's nature, food, friendship, time, later perhaps finances, and all of this. So this education, which has wings for the whole of your life, this, to our belief, is very, very precious if it's rooted, shows very precious seeds if rooted in early childhood education. Now we as university professors, we know that innovation and education, to have the passion, to have the spirit, this can't be created just bending over books. It's an activity where passion is needed. And the passion for innovation actually has something joyful, playful. And if the young children, like here, if they have an education which has a structure, of course, they have proper desks and chairs and learn basic skills adequate to their age, but at the same time smell, see, feel, hear all what nature, what our living space Earth has to offer. That's wonderful. That's a joy for our hearts, for the children, for the educators, for the parents, for the grandparents, and for people walking by here. So 32 years ago, a primary school teacher of a close-by community in a wine region, he simply started off with his children, no extra activity. He went out from the rooms out to nature, to plant trees, or to renaturalize little streams. Together with a biologist, he devised a concept, litter-free, or with little litter, school, translated into Korean as well. And this translation, for example, is the reason why we get visitors once in a while who are in this region. It's a region very famous for Freiburg is the green city of Germany, so there's a big research institute of the Fraunhofer Institute for Applied Research. It's the largest in Europe, working on photovoltaics, on creation, storage, dissemination, usage and payment of energy. And these visitors are here in the region to learn, exchange about energy of the future. And then almost naturally they come to us and experience education of the future. Because, I mean, how can you feel the power of a kilowatt hour if you don't have a feeling for a resource? Yeah? And these resources basically, that's what we experience if the kids get the freedom yeah, together with their playmates here, with the educators, to do little projects, to go out, to experience as well the bus and the train, for example. Every Wednesday or one day a week, these children here on Wednesdays, the children, they go on an excursion depending on the season. I give you two examples. The butterflies in spring, the little ropes, they develop to beautiful butterflies. Or the frogs, for little creature in the water, the frogs develop over a couple of weeks. So the kids do an excursion with their educators once a week for a morning with bus and train to nearby places. They also have French. And French, they only have 1 hour a week. So it's not that you learn French, but it's enough to spur their curiosity. So once per semester they go over to France. They cross the Rhine River, going to Neuf-Brisach, to a bakery, a boulangerie, and say, well, I like to have a croissant, s'il vous plaît. And that's fun. That's what means education with all senses. So simply not to restrict us to closed rooms, to chairs and benches, but to give the children a structure for the day. At the same time, let them experience in the community, together with projects, for example, with the senior citizens, which are close by here, next to the park, singing a song at Christmas time, Easter, St. Martin, other holidays. Yeah, so having an education with all senses. And this is our standard little house. You will see it later. We have got a wonderful team here of 3 digital media students who capture this video for you. As well later with a drone, we will fly up into the sky through the vineyards, and then you will fly down to see the photovoltaics and the surrounding, and go into the houses. And this standard house is a proper handyman construction. Yeah, it's pretty economic compared to a brick and mortar building. Panoramic windows, well isolated, fired in this case with wood. They can also bake bread in there. And of these houses we have 8 houses here, 3 in the park, 2 in another location, and the others are in other neighboring communities. And we see each other as a think tank, as an example. And this actually spreads. So our former educators, one is operating a large expat kindergarten in Munich, others are responsible here in neighboring communities. So it's not our mission and vision to grow, grow and grow. We see each other that we can prove how education with all senses, how forest pedagogic, natural pedagogic, how it works nicely, successfully, and the passion and spirit for all involved. And as an example for others to exchange about our experience. And that would be wonderful if you are here in Europe and in Germany and pass by the southwest corner of Germany, as I said, close to France and Switzerland. Please just drop us a note before, and from heart you are welcome. We like to exchange and to cooperate here to Aktion Living Space. And Professor Ernst Ulrich von Weizsäcker, the wonderful man, his passion for contributions for our future. For the 50th anniversary of the Club of Rome, the book was he wrote a book with the title Come On, come on, let us start. We have the resources, not for endless growth, not for quantitative growth, but qualitative growth. So this book is from Professor von Weizsäcker for the 50th anniversary of the Club of Rome. And time, the Black Forest is famous for the cuckoo clock. You might know that clock, and also the beautiful cake. And the cuckoo clock, so it's about precision. And the wheels of time, the wheels of a clock, they have to go hand in hand. And somehow we can achieve the same for education and international education to collaborate. And I'll give you an example. We also have a bit of technology in these houses. One house has Wi-Fi and a screen to show the photos when the kids come back from the nature. And one grandmother, for example, she lives in South Africa, the same time zone. And the children, they could sing a song with the grandmother or show their nose, make a kind of joke. So it's possible to have this adoption in a nice, natural way, a way that's balanced and actually a way with common sense. To have nature and technology and prepare them for a good future for as later school kids, students, in society, professionally, and in their families. And in German, the book here from the Club of Rome is called Wir sind dran. That means it's time to act. And if we don't act, then hopefully we don't have to suffer these consequences. So it's really time to act. The young people are in motion. Fridays for Future as one example. And it goes hand in hand. The future of innovation, the future of the frameworks to support it, the future of adoption of technology, and certainly the future of education. And hopefully there is the understanding also by the sponsors internationally to start this from early childhood education. Happy birthday again and welcome here to the southwest corner of Germany. Welcome to Action Living Space.